We are back with another case study, and I love bringing you case studies from people who are actually friends of mine. It just shows a level of professional trust, but also that I'm very willing to do business with friends and very proud of what we can do. And today we have Tracey Starr with us. And Tracy, first of all, thank you for sparing a little bit of your time. I know that you have a lot of key projects going on right now, some very exciting stuff. So appreciate you taking some time to share your experience of delegation, working with a VA, but let's start with the most fundamental question. What is it that you actually do as a business?
So the primary focus right now I have is the Women Entrepreneurs Association. Just recently launched that with my partner, Judy Morio. And the organization is founded with the intent to empower women in general into entrepreneurship, to really unleash their entrepreneurial spirit, to give them the tools, the resources, the networking, the connections to launch and to level up their businesses. So it's not just for starting entrepreneurs, but it is with the intent that rising tides lift all boats, right? So if all of us really collaborate and work together, we can take those that have experience and have been entrepreneurs for decades to then help and mentor those that are just coming out. And even those that are potentially not young, but are just starting their entrepreneurial journey. Maybe they've been in corporate for 30 years and they've just decided that they're done with that round of their life, and so giving them the support and the tools that they need to really make a successful business for themselves.
Great, thank you. And I know that you have another exciting project. And I wasn't going to go into two things, but I think it's interesting enough that I want to mention it here. And tell us a little bit about the Facecode project as well, because I think it's revolutionary, and I think it'd be fun to just cover what it really is. So it could be a game changer for a lot of people who've been struggling to find their way.
It is really exciting, actually. So this is a project that I'm working with Bob Doyle, who's my husband. It is called Facecode.ai. What it is a personality test that is so simple to do because you actually are not required to answer one question. All you have to do is take a selfie, and it will mark your genetic code and tell you what your innate personality is. And what is really interesting about this is that because it's going off of your genetics, the AI has been programmed to decipher different characteristics and personality traits within features. And it is seriously mind-blowing. So like you take a selfie and within, a minute, you have this full-blown report about you. And then what's really interesting is that I've found that some people go, well, that's not really me. But then when you dive one layer in, it's okay. You say you're an introvert now. In fact, actually, this is Bob. He says he's an introvert now, and that's how his personality has evolved. But when his report said, oh, extrovert, and both of us looked at each other and thought, no, that's not you. But when we dove in and really thought about his childhood and the environment part of the nurture nature sort of piece, he was a huge extrovert growing up. It wasn't until he was in his adolescence, teens that he got squashed by his environment. School, he was the school clown, right? So anytime he spoke up as an extrovert, he got squashed. And that just repetitive conditioning from the outside world really literally just made him go inward. And so he now has an opportunity to really look at, okay, I now see that. He didn't see that before. He didn't even remember any of that until we actually looked at the report and kind of dove into where could that be coming from. Mind-blowing. It's amazing. It's so great. So it's such a great tool to be able to look at, okay, this is who I am naturally, yet I have these traits that if I develop them, I could be that way if I want to be. So it's really
that
cool.
Brings me on to the topic of what I call healthy skepticism, right? Because
Yes.
we bring that up because sometimes we are introduced to a new concept. Many readers of this book or people listening to this, they're going to be thinking, I'm skeptical about hiring a VA. Can a VA really come in $5 or $6 per hour and make a difference in my business? Now, I know that you're no stranger to delegation. I know that this is not your first hire. It wasn't about you overcoming, do I hire a VA or not? You just get to a place in your business where you needed to bring on some more help. But in the same vein, if you're reading this and you're got some healthy skepticism about what Tracy just shared, go check it out for yourself, right? It's not a big thing. It's just you can go learn for yourself and try it out. If it brings you some more wisdom and knowledge about what you're doing and why you're doing it, then good for you. But in the same regard, if you're sitting there skeptical about, can a VA truly come into a business and help you make a difference, let's go ahead and just address that. So Tracy, you're no stranger to hiring virtual help. I think you've been doing it for a very long time as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. But where were you right before you started to work with us in terms of your need for a VA, your more immediate need for a VA?
That's a great question. So if I can take one step back just to say, I've hired thousands of people, I think, in my lifetime, because there was a decade where I owned a special events catering company, a food retail store, and a 175-seat restaurant with a bar in Chicago. And so over that decade, hospitality industry, you're hiring and firing all the time, unfortunately. It's just part of the drill. And so delegation is something that I understand is essential to having a successful business. It just is. We are not capable of doing everything ourselves. And as an entrepreneur, when I switched gears into working in the, I want to say like online is more of what we're doing now. It's no different. It doesn't matter what type of business you have. You are only one person. And so you get to a point where you look at your skill set and your time and what is the value of your time. So if you're struggling to do accounting and you need to do this for your business, the bookkeeping aspect of it, why are you torturing yourself? You're not doing yourself any service, right? It doesn't have any value for you to be doing that. And so when I came and I was looking at, so I'd started, this is actually a different business of mine. I'm a serial entrepreneur. It's a habit thing, I think. I just realized, I said, I need help. And there's skills that I don't have that I know others do, and passions that they have that I do not, but these are still tasks and things that need to happen. So I immediately looked to virtual assistants, because at that time, my whole world was virtual. Everything that I was really doing was digital marketing. I was all online. And so it didn't matter. My clients, I have clients all over the world that I've never met in person. So to have assistance from somewhere else around the world, it doesn't matter if we're in person or not. I just need help with the actual tasks. And so going to a VA and being able to look at, all right, these are all the workflows and the things that I need to accomplish. And these are the things I love to do. So I love it, I want to be doing it. These are things that I don't love to do and don't want to be doing it. And then there's the things where, okay, I love doing it, but my time is still worth more to do something that is succinct and revenue driving instead of just task doing, even though I love doing it. So for me, I love doing graphics. I love playing, it's creative, it's fun. But the value of it is silly for me to do when I have this incredible girl who is so much more talented than I am, who can do just way better work in a way faster time. And so to delegate that to her is the smart thing to do for my business.
Okay, thank you. And you shared you have hired a lot of people over your career in entrepreneurship and business. What made you choose our model? Because obviously you know how to hire, you know where to find them, but what made you pick our model versus hiring direct or going through another agency?
I've actually done all of it. I think it's probably been close to 10 years now that I've had virtual assistants in general. I first started with an agency and I was paying almost 4 times the amount that the VA was making. And I didn't know that at first. Of course, I assume that there's a profit, right? There are expenses aside from just the direct VA. You have taxes, you have other pieces, there's other expenses. So understanding that, absolutely no problem. But what I found was that I was not getting the value out of that 3 or 4 time markup. And they were not doing anything to help me or my VA in terms of their development or our communications. They had said that they would, but there was no cohesive communications with them in assisting with what I was doing. And I then thought, all right, I'll go direct. I try all the online employment searches, and I found a couple folks, did direct, and I found that after some time they would disappear. There was not a sense of dedication, loyalty. It was more of a mindset of just a quick project, just whatever they might be doing, and then they peter out. And so obviously that doesn't work. So I was frustrated. I don't know which I'm like, oh, what do I do? So then I'm struggling to either find an agency that I could potentially overpay for, but then I don't know that is going to add any value to my business anyway, or continue to go direct and struggle through that. And then there's you. And your model is, for me, it's absolutely perfect, because I see that the things that the VAs that were on their own didn't have, and I see what the agencies were doing but didn't provide those services. You do both. So for me, the business owner, not only do I have communication support, because your team's amazing, but the VA has support. They have a community. The ongoing trainings that you guys do are incredible. The innovation, keeping everyone on their toes with the AI, different technologies that are coming around, and helping my team be better at what they do, and not just with their work with me necessarily, but in their lives too, which adds huge value. So the dedication and the loyalty and the communications are so much better, so much stronger. And my team from you, I would adopt them. Like, they could come stay with me. I just absolutely love them. And we have just an amazing work ethic, workflow, we just work so well together. It is absolutely, in my opinion, the best model.
I appreciate you sharing that. So if you had some suggestions or some tips for anyone reading this book or listening to this interview right now on either hiring a VA or managing, let's talk about managing a VA, like best tips for kind of managing a VA. So once someone's made a decision to get a VA, what have you found works best in terms of getting the best output from your VA?
I would say there's really three things. One is have a good project management software. I personally use Asana or Monday, or there's a bajillion of them out there. That helps keep everyone on the same page. There's no misunderstandings, due dates, all of those things are very clear and precise. Just helps with communications and making sure that your output from everyone is on time and the way that you had communicated it. The second piece is communication. It's just like having any type of employee ever, or children, to be honest, right? It's follow-up, right? Making sure that they clearly understand if they have any struggles to ask. What I've found is that culturally around the world, people have different thought processes, and so oftentimes may be reluctant to ask questions because they feel that there might be a risk of looking something and they might lose their job if they ask too many questions, which you just need to reassure them that you want them to ask questions, that you don't expect them to know everything, and that in order to really accomplish the task, you must be on the same page. So encouraging them to communicate and to have the right tools then for them to communicate is also very important. And then the third piece is ensuring that there is the vision and that there's like a team within your own business. So I think I'm at 7 VAs right now. I've had, I think 15 all at once at one point. And we have a team meeting all of them, even though different people are doing different things that really are not related. But again, it gives a sense of community and that shared vision. And so I really feel, and this is with anyone in any job ever, if you understand what you're all doing and how the pieces work together and what your common goal is with the mission vision of the business, everyone's going to enjoy their work more, everyone's going to communicate better, they see where you're going. And to give them that also adds value to their work and their happiness, which is key in being successful with your own business. It's having a team that's also happy doing what they're doing.
Awesome. Okay, impact. At the end of the day, to me, everything there has to be an ROI, right? Where we are investing money in team, we're investing money in technology. How do you encapsulate the impact having a VA has been on your business?
I could do the internet 10x, but there isn't any of the business endeavors that I've worked on since hiring VAs that I could have scaled or had as successful if I didn't have them.
I think perfect. I think that's great. All right, the biggest challenge, especially for you, Tracy, if you had to give me a 60-second soundbite on this, a summary of what you just shared in terms of the benefits of a VA working with us, the impact, 60 seconds, go.
All right. So benefits of having a VA is your business can grow because, again, otherwise you're only one person and there's only 24/7 in a day. So the best thing to do is to find people who are passionate and have the skills that you do not have and to integrate them into your business so that you can get more done. The other piece to it is that when you're looking for that VA is to find an organization, or in my case, just who has the right framework for the community to get these VAs from, because that there is ongoing training, there's community for them and support for you. There's education for, the other piece that I forgot was the education that you do for the entrepreneurs as well. You have constant Zoom educational seminars and things on a weekly basis. You have an open office that is amazing, and just the absolute best of all worlds. You've got folks that are talented and cost effective, as well as you have a community for yourself. So also networking and mentoring with the other clients that you have, which is another key piece. And it's the only way to scale your business.
Perfect. Thank you. And that's fantastic. Thank you so much, Tracy, sharing your insights, your wisdom. Again, we look at working with a client as a collaborative experience. No, we don't claim everything. We're not on the other side of the fence a lot of times. So it takes feedback from clients like you. Hey, what if you try this and what if you don't? So we're always open to feedback, and you're always so giving with your suggestions, your experience of working with so many people, probably more than even we work with. And so I truly appreciate that aspect of working with clients like you, Tracy. So with that said, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your wisdom, your time with us, and I wish you continued success in everything you do. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Thank you.